Hello. Okay, I guess I'm starting a second channel here of the practical menswear journey. This one, I don't know how much I'll be able to show clips of actual playing because this microphone tends to muffle out when it gets overwhelmed. Like if you try and talk and do guitar at the same time, the guitar drops out, or it'll play one chord super loud and then the next chord super muddy, stuff like that. So I don't know. But right now, I had been watching some of those modify and upgrade videos on how to, swap out your pickups and all that kind of thing. And I don't have the tools here to do all those kind of demonstrations. Um, One of the things they don't mention in those videos is their labor cost, and often the amount of how much money those tools really do add up to. So how much you can really build your own guitars is kind of varies, how much experience you have with woodworking and that kind of thing. But I did not buy. Okay, these are the ones I'm going to show are two very inexpensive guitars. A little awkward here. So here we have what I believe is your basic Squier Bullet with the rosewood neck and the white pick guard, and it has the string through body, and you can see it's a real Squier for what that's worth. So this is about a $200 guitar-ish, and somebody had already done some work on it, so they've already, the old knobs are gone. And I wasn't going to do anything really to this. I got this as a starter guitar for students if I was teaching lessons that I thought would be a good option, next to that, up from there, we have then the Affinity, which has the actual knobs, has the maple fretboard instead of the rosewood. Apparently guitars cause cancer now, along with shoes. I never heard of anybody getting cancer from a guitar before. But this one does have the nice cutaway on the back. And so there's a feature that I don't necessarily see in all models of Telecasters. Even when you get more expensive ones, it kind of varies. So it's kind of hit or miss. So I thought, well, that's nice. Even on a cheap guitar, I mean, this one's only about a $50 guitar more than the other guitar. So, when the student gets a little better, they could upgrade to this after I'm done messing around with it or whatever. And in the meantime, I thought it would be fun. I'm not sure if it, needs a setup. The pickup on this one seems to be high and that one seems to be pretty low. Again, I'm not the guy who does that stuff. I take it to a guitar guy and let him do that stuff. It's very hard to get these people to answer very many questions on the phone. Usually you call a music store and the guy doesn't come in. He comes in once a week and picks everything up and takes it all away. And, maybe he calls you back. I don't know how that all is supposed to work. I've been around guitars like pretty much my whole life, but I never knew the kind of guys who love tearing them apart and all that kind of stuff. It was always just kind of like you play them till they don't work anymore, and then you buy a better one, And so, I never had any qualms about a guitar that doesn't cost a ton of money because they were always kind of semi-disposable to most of the guys I knew who played a lot. So this one, still has the sticker on it, and all that. But what I thought when I was watching these guys, the one guy was saying that the rear pickups on these will typically be okay, and these front ones will typically be meh, maybe replace one or both. And then on the Stratocasters, it might be slightly different. The bodies of these are not quite as thick as, like I said, some of the made in Mexico or other models I've seen where you got a good almost, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch at least more, or maybe half an inch. And so it's a little bit thicker. So I don't know about, swapping out the volume pots and stuff in an Affinity on this, whereas on an Affinity Squier, they said the body is typically too narrow and you need a standard. So I don't know if the same rule applies here, but I wasn't really going to worry about the pots. Again, starter guitar, totally meant for a starter student. But what I did think I would do was kind of trick it out and make it look a little fancier. And maybe I could take this black pickguard and put it on that guitar, you know, so it wouldn't have the cheesy white one, and look a little better. And I'd put like somebody like this on here and give it a little more country western vibe, right? So I bought this off Amazon, and I don't know that this one seems to be like a one ply. You have to be careful because some of them will say 5 holes, meaning these screws, and some of them will say 8. So I did get an 8, but whether or not I need another layer for backing this, I don't know. Maybe that white one will work. maybe they have to sand it down. I don't know. Maybe it won't fit at all, and it'll just be a clever idea I had that went nowhere. But to accompany that, I thought I would get like some kind of new metal upgrade. This one came and it's very hard to see from a distance, very subtle. And I don't know if it matches up in alignment with this exactly, because I haven't taken it out of the bag. And again, I'm not going to take the thing apart myself. I'm going to have to pay somebody to do it. But this came with a matching doohickey. Now I figured that I didn't need another. This is the saddle, right? Not the bridge. I don't know what's the parts of the bridge and the saddle, but somewhere in there, this conjunction. Some of the versions don't have this metal tray, but I figured I could do this with and use these. I don't know how that all works. I was trying to see if these holes match up with those holes, but I don't know if they do. And again, this pattern is very subtle, very kind of dull. So I'll probably just send these back. You know, the guy on the video says, oh, you know, $40 on Amazon and you just get all the things you need and you can, you know, practically build your own in 2 hours. And it looks like the holes, though, are here and here and here and here and here. These holes are not in all the same places as those holes, and this pickup hole is at a different angle than the actual pickup on the actual guitars. So whoever makes these in China, I don't think has ever held an actual Affinity or Bullet Telecaster, because then they would know that the angle is wrong and it's not going to fit correctly. Now, I'm not positive that the angle of this matters per se, although I'm pretty sure Leo Fender figured it out and put it there for a reason for how the sound all works. So changing that angle might change the sound of the guitar, at least enough that you might notice it. Maybe not significantly, but the screw holes being in the wrong place is kind of an issue too, because like you're supposed to be able to attach it to the guitar. So I don't know what model of guitar that's actually supposed to fit. Like I said, I'm waiting to go to a music store and the guy can tell me, no, we can make it work, or he'll go, yeah, this is junk. Don't buy this junk. So we'll see. Similar to that, then I got this other set that has a bit more bold of a pattern, much more easy to see. And again, this one has its own saddles, so I don't know if I should remove those because the intonation on this one seems fine, or just use them and hope that they're all in the correct alignment to match the strings. Because when I held things like this up to the body of the existing, with the existing ones on there, it seemed like that was maybe not the case, that maybe the strings would not be going in the exact same rows or whatever as that. Now this one, they sent, again, better design than that other one. You can hold this is much. You can see that you can actually see the pronounced. It has the black inlay. So this one actually looks kind of like, oh, I might actually want that. But here they've only included 2 screws. Now, fortunately, the guitar, you know, already has 4 screws, so I guess these are bonus screws. But if I was trying to build my own guitar, then there's 4 holes but only 2 screws. So why they only send you 2 screws, I don't know. kind of screwy. Haha. Maybe they screwed me. I don't know. Haha. Pun intended. They also offer a gold one that I thought would look kind of good, but actually is just too bright. I don't think I'm gonna use this gold stuff. And there's a gold plate that you can put over the pickup, neck pickup deal, but I don't know how it's supposed to actually go in here because again, here we have 2 screws and this doesn't seem to have any screws. So I don't know if there's some way you remove that and put this on. Somebody in the comments will tell me, oh, of course, you idiot, blah, 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 but I'm probably not going to use it, so it doesn't really matter. And these knobs look legit, but of course I'm going to send these back and get maybe the color knobs that go with the other guitar if I ever bother to fix that one from the Stratocaster knobs. And this was the one that really confused me. Now, I didn't really want to remove the tuning pegs since they seem to actually all be pretty decent, but if I was going to put a gold thing on there, I figured I better have the gold ones. And so this one says Dopro and made in China, and it comes in this package. And then the other ones, they say Wilkinson and made in Korea, and it's the exact same package. So I don't know if this is really worth. One of these I think cost more money, but they both inside the package look like the exact same thing. So I don't know if they're pulling a funny one on me or not, or if they really are 2 different products. But the Wilkinson, the reason I ordered that is because guys had talked them up as okay on the vintage guitar brand guitars, which does not mean old guitars. It means a brand that makes them look like old guitars, but they're probably comparable quality to most of the Squier ones, and not a brand I'm familiar with. I tried to find distributors locally who could give me more information, and most of them had never heard of the brand and didn't know what I was talking about. And so there you go. And so yeah, this was kind of a long video of me talking about parts. But in the meantime, maybe there will be a follow-up video of either me talking about how I returned this stuff to Amazon or talking about how the guitar guy told me I was being paranoid and it will be absolutely fine to build your own guitar using a plate that has the pickup at the wrong angle, hole, or whatever. We'll see. Tune in again next time.